There's one big issue that is still dogging me. We keep coming back to it. It's that overarching question of how we as citizens can be informed, engaged, and responsible. We're talking about pollution, how polluted our media ecosystem is, how nonsense flows so easily, how conspiracy theories, how ordinary people, how family members of our own can latch on to the weirdest things, the things that should be on their face absurd and unfortunately are sometimes really dangerous.
Siva, it's appropriate that you use the word polluted because our guest today says we can't really tackle our information failures unless we think of them in the same way that we think about climate change, as an ecological problem, maybe with ecological solutions. We have Whitney Phillips with us from Syracuse University. She's a scholar of communication and rhetoric and the author with Ryan Milner of the new book, You Are Here, a field guide for navigating polarized speech, conspiracy theories, and our polluted media landscape. Hey, Whitney, welcome to Democracy in Danger.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
To carry on with your ecological metaphor and the framing that you've given us, talk a little bit about the sources of pollution that we confront every time we're engaged in online activity.
Sure. One of the most prominent sources of pollution is, of course, conspiracy theorizing that envelops the election results, but which are not just confined to the election results. The conspiracy theory that, Joe Biden stole the election from Trump, that's tangled up with COVID, tangled up with the sort of narrative megaplex of QAnon and the deep state, tangled up with everything that's happened over the last few years. That's a perfect example of the kind of pollution we're dealing with. That's not one singular story. It's not one piece of trash on a beach. It's an entire polluted lake where certain pockets have tributaries that are pumping, particularly intense pollution into the waterways. But, in a lake, pollution doesn't stay put. It travels all around. And so we're dealing with these really suffuse, vast, deeply weird, often belief systems that get all tangled up with each other and end up showing up not just online, but they sometimes storm the Capitol.